And joining us for this week's Annapolis Face-Off are Delegate Heather Mizeur, Democrat from Montgomery County, and Delegate Dwyer, a Republican from Arundel County. Thanks to both of you for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
We want to talk about same-sex marriage, obviously, and spend most of the time on the political and legal parts of that. But just to start with the core issue for a minute, Delegate Mizeur, why are those who feel that marriage should be between a man and a woman wrong?
Well, marriage is a civil construct in our state. When you get a marriage license, you get 425 rights, responsibilities, protections, obligations conferred to you under that state certificate. And no one who is entering into a same-sex marriage is asking the state to require churches to recognize our relationships, but we do expect the law to treat us equally.
And Delegate Dwyer, why do you see it the other way?
Well, quite honestly, because the institution of marriage has been around since law, or actually predated law, written law, in not only this country, but in the world itself. And quite honestly, one of the things that I have a problem with this whole debate is that several years ago in the House Judiciary Committee, we offered to confer all of the benefits that were being requested, but we were willing to do it under civil unions, and that was not satisfactory. Heather's side is actually, Delegate Mizeur's side is holding out for the term marriage, and that's where many people that hold the view that I do, that marriage is between a man and a woman, tend to have difficulty. So
what is the impact, in your view, Delegate Dwyer, of Attorney General Gensler's ruling? Does it actually legalize gay marriage with the caveat that you just have to drive down 95 and actually do the ceremony in D.C.?
Well, in the Attorney General's words himself, an Attorney General's opinion becomes the law of the land unless overturned by a court or addressed by the legislature. So I would say that it absolutely does have the effect of law, and not far or long after that opinion was released, Governor Martin O'Malley publicly announced to all agencies and departments that they were to immediately respect that law, and he was referring to the law that Mr. Gensler had released in his opinion.
So, Delegate Mizeur, how happy are you? I mean, how big a deal is this for your side?
Well, it's a big deal to me personally, as well as thousands of Maryland families. My spouse, Deborah, and I were married on the western shore of the Chesapeake Bay here in Maryland in 2005 with our friends, our family, and our God. We didn't get any rights and recognition at that time or any protections under the law. And until recently, I could have more protections. We got a legal marriage license in California in 2008 to protect us when we're there visiting family, and in the 6 other states that recognize same-sex marriages. And it was ironic, prior to the Attorney General's opinion, that here in Pasadena, Maryland, 30 minutes away, my spouse and I are treated as legal strangers. But in Pasadena, California, we had all the rights and recognition of every other married couple. The same is true for Cambridge, Maryland, where we are considered 2 women with a lot of expensive legal documents and a lot of uncertainty if tragic strikes our family. And in Cambridge, Massachusetts, we would be considered married under the law.
But right now in Maryland, are you considered as married under the law? Absolutely.
That was the point I was getting to. The Attorney General determined that under the spirit of comity and the laws where we recognize a opposite-sex marriage that gets performed in California and you end up moving here to Maryland, you're considered married. There'd be a lot of chaos in this country if we didn't respect each other's state laws. And the Attorney General's opinion just upholds that and now treats my marriage the same as everyone else's.
All right. How does this get to court? Because everybody's obviously saying that's the next step, but somebody has to have standing and a reason to go sue the state.
That's exactly right, and I'm not sure what that process is. We're in the process of requesting that from legal scholars that would be able to give me direction regarding how we would take this to court, because I think clearly Maryland law that says only a marriage between a man and a woman in this is valid in this state has now been usurped, I believe, by the opinion and by the alleged authority of the Maryland Attorney General. So we're yet to see how that turns out.
How do you think the Court of Appeals rules on this? Because the Court of Appeals, Delegate Mizeur, ruled against your side not that long ago, right?
Well, I think as the Attorney General opinion lays out in great detail, he lays a very good roadmap and legal argument for how the courts will determine in our favor this go-around. And it's been helpful. Just in the last 3.5 years I've been a member of this body, we've passed numerous bills that have shown an evolution in thinking and how this General Assembly wants to treat domestic partners, same-sex couples under the law. And that evolution is contributing to a body of evidence that there is a growing sense that this state needs to step up and determine how to treat our relationships equally under the law.
In a few seconds, let me get each of you to comment on this. What's the impact on the elections this year, if any?
I think it will have an effect. I think it's going to have a serious effect, especially after I bring impeachment charges against the Attorney General.
I anticipate no impact whatsoever. Marylanders in their heart believe in equality and justice. We are the free state, and this decision is right in line with the hearts and souls of people here in the great state of Maryland.
All right, Delegates Mizeur and Dwyer, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having us.